Good morning or good afternoon. I am Yvonne from Colorado, and it is Wednesday, October the 4th. I want to welcome you all to the Winner Within coaching call brought to you by the Unit of Prosperity, or UOP for short. We host these personal development calls Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern for the benefit of entrepreneurs and marketers everywhere. So you can feel free to invite your teams, no matter which company you represent, for some daily motivation and inspiration. Now, just in case this is your first time dialing into a UOP call, let me introduce our coach to you. He is a visionary strategist and entrepreneur. He is an energetic, highly impactful speaker and a fierce motivator. Utilizing his passion, he likes to take an aggressive approach to personal development by challenging what people see as the norm. His story is a remarkable one. From a very young age, he has had an entrepreneurial spirit, but he lacked the guidance of positive role models to hone his abilities. Even though he faced many pitfalls and major challenges along the way, with faith, will, determination, and perseverance, he was able to reach his goal of becoming a successful entrepreneur. He has an affinity for community outreach and volunteerism. He has served in many leadership capacities over the years and is currently a member of the board of directors for both the United Negro College Fund and Sister Cities in Jacksonville, Florida. His vision is to motivate and teach others the power of effectively utilizing knowledge, resources, and network ability to obtain definitive goals and reach their greatness. So please grab something to write with. You are going to want to take notes. His topic for the day is Don't Take No for an Answer. It is my pleasure to introduce and bring to the call Dr. Adrian Gentry. Dr. Gentry, are you ready?
I am so ready, and thank you once again for making me feel like a superstar on the phone, even if no one else believes it. I just felt it.
You are so welcome. Take it away.
No problem. Hey, first thing I want to say thank you guys for taking time out your day and allowing me to actually speak into your life for a brief moment. Every time I speak, I like to clarify three things. One, I'm a very, very passionate person. So I'm going to get loud. Don't be afraid. It's just the passion coming out. Two, I'm a Christian through and through. So every time I speak, you're going to get this word in me. And three, I'm a meat and potatoes type of person. I give you what I got, and then I get off the phone. Today this morning I woke up and I'm a very transparent person. So I like to look at my life daily to find out where I can succeed and where I'm succeeding and where I'm failing. And I also like to be completely open and honest about who I am, because I believe my story can help other people as well. And I like to drive home points by telling stories, right? And I tell people all the time, success leaves clues. And so I woke up this morning and I'm fasting right now, so I'm not eating any meat. And anybody that knows me, my favorite food in the world is chicken. I love chicken wings. I love chicken, period, right? So I woke up with that urge this morning. So Colonel Sanders kind of popped in my mind, and I just began to think of his life a little bit. And if you haven't heard the story of Colonel Sanders, I'm going to give it to you a little bit of it today. But you need to understand, this was a man that refused to take no for an answer. So we're going to kind of break down his timeline, because I like I said before, I believe success leaves clues. Also, I believe that everyone has patterns. And you can identify a person based off the patterns in their life. And so as I tell you this story, I want you to kind of think about, can you see a pattern in his life that's made him successful? And so, I look at Colonel Sanders. He was born in 1989, right? When he was 6 years old, his father passed away, leaving him to cook and care for his siblings. In the seventh grade, he dropped out of school because he had to go take work as a farmhand. At 18, he faked his age to enlist into the Army. After being honorably discharged after about a year, he got hired as a railroad laborer. However, he got fired because he got into a fight with a coworker. While he worked with the railroads, he studied law. And so guess what? He ruined his law career when he got in a fight with a coworker. Sanders was forced to move back to his mom's house and get a job selling insurance. And guess what? He got in a fight and got fired for insubordination. But the guy refused to give up. Like, everything kept coming to him back to back to back. And he probably had anger management problem as well. But I could see in his pattern already he was a fighter. So in 1920, he founded a ferry boat company. Later, he tried to cash in on his boat business and to create a lamp manufacturing company, only to find out that they were already selling a better version of his lamp company. So get this. Wait a minute. He's been on the railroads. Didn't work out. He tried to do law. It didn't work out. He decided he was going to start a boat business. He was going to sell insurance. It didn't work out. He was going to sell these lamps. They didn't work out. And it wasn't until he was about age 40 that he began to sell chicken dishes at his service station. And he began to advertise his food and argue that his competitors had nothing on his food, right? What accidentally caused a deadly shootout. So this guy had problems from day one. So he's fighting, now they got deadly shootouts over chicken. And in 4 years, he brought this motel, which ultimately burned down. There's a pattern here. And most people may not ever see the pattern that he has in his life, but no matter what, he's a fighter. His recipe, he finally decided, you know what, this chicken recipe is so good, I know I'm beating all my competitors. I'm going to take this chicken recipe and I'm going to be in the franchise. So he got in his car. After he got this little small, I think it was $100 check from Social Security at 65 years old, after trying everything that he could possibly do to make money and build wealth, at some point he said, okay, I'm tired, I'm going to retire. And he got $100 check, and he said, you know what, I can't live off this, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this business and I'm going to make it everything that I want it to be. So he began to travel around the country in his car, and after everywhere he stopped, he got to know, no. Listen, I just want to tell you this chicken recipe, no. This is the best chicken that you've ever had. Just taste it. No. And it got to the point where he had 1,009 no's before anyone accepted it. Let me say that again. He traveled around the country trying to sell people the chicken recipe. And it was 1,009 no's before he finally got to yes. After every failure, after everyone kept telling him no, he kept fighting. So I want you to ask yourself today on this call, is there a pattern in your life of fight? Or is there a pattern of giving up? See, Colonel Sanders had something I like to call stick-to-itness. Something I like to call stick-to-itness. It was something that we were all born with, but along the way we began to lose it. See, it was built into your DNA. I told you, I'm going to give you the Bible a little bit. You were not born with a spirit of fear, but you were born with a spirit of power. It was built into your DNA, but somewhere along the way, the failures of your life have told you to stop. And I'm not talking to everyone on this call. It may not be you, but you may know that person intimately that keeps giving up every time a problem comes their way. Every time life tells them no, they give up. This is the same thing our kids have. Mama, can I? No. Mama, can I? No. Mama, can I? Daddy, can I? No. And at the same time, they're not even worried about the no's because they're just fighting to get to the yes. They know exactly what they want, and they don't care how many no's that they get. Are you there in your life yet? Are you in the place in your life where you're willing to take the no's to get to the yes? Are you willing to stick to it and fight for your dreams day in and day out so you can get to the yes? Because one thing happened with Colonel Sanders. After 1,009 no's, he was finally able to build his business and go completely international. At 65 years old, after 2 years of traveling, he was 67, 68 before someone told him yes. Because guess what? He never let life tell him no, and he accepted it. How many no's are you willing to accept in your life now? How much stick-to-itness do you actually have? And I tell people all the time, see, what is stick-to-itness? Stick-to-itness is the ability to keep moving forward no matter what happens and not take no for an answer. That's what Colonel Sanders had. He wouldn't take the nose that life would give him at all. He took him on the chin because guess what? He knew behind that there had to be something different. I told you I'm transparent. I just like to tell people my story, not to brag, but I tell people my story to understand where I came from. When I was a kid, they labeled me seriously emotionally disturbed. Yeah, I was one of those kids that grew up in a single family household that everybody says those kids are definitely going to fail. Then they said, look, he has ADHD. That's the problem. I failed the ninth grade 2 times, only to graduate with a 3.67. I moved out at 16 years old. Understand this. I was 16 years old getting better grades than when I had people around me telling me what I could not do. I also had another problem. I was an alcoholic in high school. I was an alcoholic up until the time I was 25. Everything I put my hands to, it seemed to build up. And guess what? When I stopped drinking, I got married. Marriage was fantastic. I thought it was great anyway. Then I failed again. I said, no, we're going to divorce you now. After building a successful business. So at 26, 27, I found myself, guess what? Alone. Nearly homeless. But something else came my way after I built this fantastic business in the midst of divorce. I became the marketing director for an international food manufacturing firm. How does that happen? Like I said, no again. I found myself nearly homeless. Is there a pattern in your life of fighting? And I'm not talking about physically, but not giving up, not letting life tell you what you can and cannot do. I remained nearly in this house, nearly homeless with no money in my pocket, lived on $1,250. But guess what? I woke up every day and I went out and fought. Because I knew it had to be something different than what I was living in right then. I knew God had to have something planned for me that was greater than what I was living in and the things that I had seen in my life. Do you understand? At one point in my life, I used to put a quarter ounce of cocaine up my nose every 3 days to stay awake. Oh, missed that part. I told you I was an alcoholic. I didn't tell you I had a drug addiction at some point in my life. I didn't tell you I was beat as a child. I didn't tell you that either. And at 14 years old, 13 years old, I was introduced to drugs by a family member. I didn't tell you that part either, did I? And so everything in my life I've always had to fight for. And I want people on this phone to understand, I don't care what you're going through, you have to keep fighting. Stop letting the world, stop letting life tell you no. Stop letting the little man in the back of your head tell you what you can and you cannot do. Do you have a pattern of fighting? Are you accepting the no's that life is throwing your way? Later on in my life, the story just keeps getting bigger. I finally came out the place where I was nearly homeless, and I fell into what they call depression, deep depression. So I went to the doctor, and they said, Adrian, you're depressed. I didn't even believe in depression. I thought it was something that people made up to make excuses not to go hard. Go harder in life. Give up. No, they said, you can't take this medicine. I said, I can't take that medicine. They said, what? Huh? I said, I can't take that medicine. I said, I can't take that medicine because it feels like to me I'll be giving up. And I'm not going to fight this thing the way you want me to fight it. I'm going to fight it going through the Bible, and I'm going to fight it because I'm going to live. I'm going to live my life, and I'm not going to let life tell me what I can and I cannot do. It's amazing to me. I haven't worked in over 2 years, but my entire life I was told what I could not do. I was told I would be dead before I was 21 years old. I was told I would never graduate high school, graduate with 3.7. I was told I was never supposed to be successful in business. I was told, and I tell myself this all the time, and people don't understand when I say it, I mean it. I was never supposed to be here. I was never supposed to be here on this call trying to motivate you because I honestly believe I was supposed to be dead. I honestly believe I was supposed to be out of my mind. Because the life, that style that I lived when I grew up was not conducive of success. But I would not let life tell me no. I would not accept what everybody told me I could not be. My mother had me at 15. Her mother died at 16. She raised me and my uncle. Come on. How much stability do you see in that? See, I was every statistic you ever want to look at. But I would not let life tell me no. I was every statistic you ever wanted to look at. But the only thing in my life I've ever known is how to fight. That's it. And some of y'all have to get a fire underneath you and begin to fight the fights that you need to fight to get to where you want to go. It's time out for excuses. Because no means nothing but not right now. But it's coming if you keep pushing. Just like your child says, Mama, can I have? Mama, can I do? Mama, can I? And at some point you break. I said it last week. Even the app can give you a message. And a child can show you how you're supposed to be living life and stop giving up on it. Stop giving up on what you want. I know it gets hard at times. I promise you I do. I know you can't sometimes see the sun over the trees. I understand that. And I understand it more than most. I don't just speak this on the phone. I have to live it. And I live it every day of my life. I had a client call me a month ago, and this was another one of those moments that life thought they was telling me no. I had a client call me last month and tell me, look, I know I owe you this money, but my company ain't making enough money, and basically, I'm going to take $100,000 of your income away. Wait, what? Huh? You going to do what? Some people don't go accept. When you lose $100,000 in one day, you feel like you lose $100,000 in one day, that was every reason for me to say, you know what, I give up, I'm done. I done tried, I done fought too much. But I refuse to let life tell me no. And so after I got out my feelings for a minute, what did I begin to do? I began to fight. And that's what y'all have to begin to do today. You have to begin to fight for what you want and stop letting life tell you no. Stop letting your mom tell you no. Stop letting your spouse tell you no. Stop letting your brain tell you no. Everything from here on out is a yes. I need you all to begin to tell life something. Just so you know, I never give up. I want you to say it again. Just so you know, I never give up. Because the devil's going to come at you from every angle, but you need to understand something. If you a punk, he's going to tear apart your life. If you're willing to fight, if you're willing to say no, he's gonna move on past now. He the fight over there. He kind of rough. Because the person that gets bullied in his life is the one that won't fight. It's the one that accepts the no. It's not the person that's willing to get back up and keep going. Life is going to bully you as long as you don't show life you want more out of it. Life is going to keep you depressed, frustrated, and angry if you would keep accepting the no's that it gives you every day. You were born with power inside of you, no fear. And if a man can go out there and accept 1,009 no's to live his dream, I surely know that you can accept 5 or 6. I surely know that inside inside of you, there's a burning desire to have exactly what you want, and you can pull it up outside of you at any point in time and go out and fight for your dreams. And I know you can. Why? Because you were given a sense of power, a spirit of power. Failures don't matter in case you let them. Your past does not matter unless you allow it to stay in your present and affect your future. Those no's are already over with. I was in the sales industry for years, and guess what they say? It takes 7 no's to get to 1 yes. You have to present something 7 times before you get to a yes. Some of y'all right now are on y'all 6 times presenting yourself to the world, to life, and you're scared. Just get up. It's only one more no. It's only one more no till you get to that financial blessing you want. It's only one more no till you get to that relationship you want. It's only one more no till you get to that family that you want, that car that you want, that house that you want. It's only one more no. Stop taking no for an answer. Get up and begin to fight for it. Because everything that you went through in your life was for this purpose, this reason. Joel Osteen says, don't get discouraged by the detours, the twists and the seams you don't understand. They are all a part of your story. That's what you're doing right now. You're building your story every time you overcome a no. Because your story is going to impact someone else's story. Your story is going to impact someone else's life. Your story is going to push someone else to get past the no's. Develop a pattern of stick-to-itness. I should be able to meet you and sit down and talk to you and understand this is a fighter. This is a person that refuses to give up no matter what comes their direction. This is a person that refuses to take a no for life and sit back and wait on it. And I guarantee you, if you step to life and do not accept no, you can have anything you want in this world. You can become the Colonel Sanders of this world. You can become the Michael Jordan of this world. You can become the Steve Jobs of this world. Because guess what? They never gave up and they never accepted no. And you won't either. I love you. You're great because God said so. Have a fantastic day.